tell you, it's live.
Right. We go ahead and call the meeting to order. Let's do the pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First of all, I'd like to make a comment and welcome Linda to the board. I apologize last time I didn't get the email with the session, so welcome on board. Let's go ahead and look through the agenda here. I think we want to add one thing on the approval of the minutes. We want to add also the approval for the 3/13 minutes. Is that correct? March minutes.
Repeat that, please. We still have to approve minutes from the March meeting, okay, and they've been redone or updated, okay, or corrected, or whatever you want to call it, and we would approve those today, if possible.
Yeah, do we have a motion on that?
A motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. So,
I'll make a motion to approve both sets of minutes.
do I have a second on that?
So Linda was not added to the minutes of the last meeting. And I did that only purposely because I did not know when I did the minutes. I will add this next. I will do that. I had, see email to a couple things out.
Okay, there's a motion on the table here to approve the,
You could hear.
I had a motion to approve both sets.
the
I'll
September.
second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Financial report, Stan.
Okay. First thing is invoice approvals. I have first one, American Legion, $250. That, Cindy, you want to explain some of that?
The American, on the American Legion, we rent the moose every 2 years for the fishing tournament. I'm trying to think of which one it is. And we called I had Betty talk to the moose, and she just come back to me that this is what it costs, but she didn't book it like I thought she did. So Thursday kind of fell apart for me after the meeting. Time I got to it, the moose, I think they were booked a long time ago. So we went to the VFW where it's dancing in and booked it for them, for their banquet. And that happens on the first night of their tournament.
Did you say VFW American Legion?
I'm sorry, the American Legion.
American Legion.
Okay.
Yes. So that's what that costs. There had to be $100 deposit put down, which Sam provided that. There's a reimbursement, and then a $250 cost for the extra.
I make a motion to approve the invoice.
Okay.
Do we want to do each
Do you want to do
one?
each one individually?
Yeah, let's do it. American Legion is $250, and that is getting the place. I'm a member of the American Legion, so that's why I can get that. The moose was all booked up, so.
There's also
And I really think that's the fishing tournament brings in a lot of people, so,
What day is that again? I'm sorry.
the 17th
Okay.
of October.
We need a second on that.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
the city of Tell City, $833.33.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
I'll abstain.
Chris abstains.
Thank you.
Motion carries.
Another one, Stan Johnson, that's a deposit for the American Legion. That's a non-refundable deposit which is actually the cleanup fee. So when you get done with the Legion, you can they just leave and they clean it up. That's what the $100 deposit is.
And you paid for that?
Yeah.
Oh, you want reimbursed?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Marsh Terry Associates Accounting, $2,435.
I'll make a motion.
The second,
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
PSC, $101.78.
Motion.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Travel Indiana, $1,050.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
I have another Travel Indiana that is not on my list that I received yesterday. And it's for $1,050. This is for,
The holidays.
yeah, due date's 11/13, so
That's
So
right.
why isn't it?
November,
It's due on the same day as our meeting, so I asked it to go ahead and approve it so I can get that paid prior to get it to them in time.
Motion,
I'll make that motion.
second,
Linda, second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
U.S. Treasury, it's I think it's the 2020 tax that okay. But anyway, it's back taxes we owe. It's $605.65.
That's just for payroll or what?
Yeah, what's
No,
that?
taxes.
We'll have to get an explanation.
Yeah. You got a letter back in July, or you got a letter back early, Q1. The CDB did not file, they said they didn't file a 990T in the year of 2020. And so they charge you a penalty for not filing interest, all that kind of fun stuff, $600 to them. We sent a response and it said there was no tax liability, the gift shop never made money, so there shouldn't have been any tax liability. Sent a copy of the 990T in that we had in our records from when it was originally filed and requested that they waive the penalty. The last letter you got was from them, because this is a separate one. See, these are CP notices, which means it's computer generated. So there's nobody actually reviewing any of this stuff yet. Their computer system is just sending stuff automatically. Every 90 days, you're gonna get something. So the last letter you got that was dated in right at the beginning of August, it said we need an additional 90 days to process our response to your request. So I would personally suggest holding off on, because we like I said, we requested a failure to file abatement on all of these things. So I would personally wait until they.
So what happens there, correct me if I'm wrong, they're the accountant here, but if you have a tax dispute with the IRS, there is an abatement program that you can file for one time. It's only good for once
every 5 years.
Yeah.
They don't advertise.
And if you make your case appropriately, they will abate or forgive that tax liability one time. So I think that's what you're referring to. Right?
Yeah, you would
And
get,
in all probability, we would get that abatement.
there might be some interest charges. It looks like it was paid late. There was a payment made. They showed it was filed. They showed that you made a payment. And then they said, here's all your failure to file penalties. So clearly there was a
So
return
there's no
filed.
tax liability.
No tax liability.
Tax has been paid.
Purely the penalties and interest.
So, but again, not to speak for you, but if we file for an abatement, then we already have.
That's what we said back in, yeah.
Okay, so we filed, but that can take 16, 18, 20 weeks sometimes.
6 months, just depends on how quickly they get to.
So is it your suggestion?
Yeah, exactly. So my suggestion would be to hold tight on this. This is a computer generated notices. It's not in collections. All it is saying, hey, don't forget you owe us this money, because their computer systems are set to remind you every 60 or 90 days. So I personally would wait until you get a response to the request that was sent in July. And once that is decided upon, which they may say no, and that's, if they do, that's fine, they'll pay it, but
Are you our duly appointed representative?
I believe I have a power of attorney on file.
Okay, so if that's the case, would that notice come to you or would it
It'll come from both of us. So I should get a copy of it if they've done their job and process the POA. If they haven't, then it would just come to you guys. It will come to the depot is where it will come when they send the notice, because that was the last address on file for the CPP.
It would come from the IRS.
Yes.
So we just need to keep
I've
an
got
eye.
a question.
And they will not forward that because it is IRS letterhead.
If we do just go ahead and pay it and they, are in our favor that we didn't know it, would they just give us a refund?
They will, probably another 180 days.
2 years.
That's the problem with it.
So would you have this check?
I
Pass on to
would either
get rid
void
of
the
it?
check or just hold it and not actually approve this meeting.
Okay.
I would suggest we let the abatement process run its course. That's my suggestion.
I missed the letters.
So,
Is
so, go ahead, sorry.
Is this to gift shop?
That's the 990T. So every nonprofit has to file a Form
It
990.
is a nonprofit.
And then if you have what's called unrelated business income, so gift shops are not the purpose of that nonprofit, so that they deem that unrelated business income. And so then there was a 990T filed for that year, and I don't know if we filed that one, or that was right off time that we were transitioning, taking some of those over. So there would have been a 990T filed for that year, that depending upon, and the way that the accounting used to work on the gift shop, the inventory wasn't trackable real well. And so at any given time, you could have a massive swing in income based on how much inventory was purchased and how much would actually be reported in the year. And so there was never an audit done or anything like that back then. So it was purely cash basis based on what we reported to.
So, let me send this to you from left field, okay? This is a non-for-profit bill from
Correct.
CVB Incorporated, which has been dissolved.
Yes, officially by the state of Indiana, and it won't be with the IRS until we file that last tax return, which will be once the forms come out in January.
That's,
So
should we pay this out of the non, if we had to, out of the nonprofit?
we shouldn't pay it at all.
No, that's what I'm saying. If we
So-
had to.
And all I'm saying is we're chasing the ghost right now because the organization doesn't exist.
Yeah, as soon as they publish the forms in January, we file that last tax return, the organization is officially dissolved. So it would be, like I
You gotta
said,
keep in mind, this is not taxes that's owed. They're trying to get us for penalties and interest, right? Oh, we shouldn't pay this.
No, I agree. Do we need a motion on that or what?
Well, real quick, if they issue us a check back, a refund or whatever, and we've dissolved all those accounts and stuff, how are we gonna cash that check as a nonprofit? Where is it, you know?
you have to go to the bank and return it out.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not my pay grade.
That's why I was just trying to, just clarity, because it may be, if it's $5, okay.
My
Wouldn't be so
experience is that paying it now will cause more problems
Yeah,
than
right.
not.
Oh, I agree, yeah, I wouldn't pay it, but I'm talking about the reimbursement from what we've already sent.
Yeah.
Would we,
You won't get reimbursed for what you already sent.
No,
The
that
tax,
was
all we
taxes
paid
owed.
thus far is the tax owed.
oh, all right.
So we sent the response in back in July, we said, pay the tax owed.
Yeah.
But don't pay the penalty interest, we'll request the abatement.
I make a motion.
Wait a minute. Should we pay this out of the commission or?
We should pay it off.
We shouldn't pay it at all.
That's my recommendation.
Okay, but okay,
If and when that time comes, we can
okay,
figure out who should pay it.
okay.
So I'll make a motion that we let the abatement process run its course.
Second.
You want a second? I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? No opposed, motion carries.
And maybe Barry made the motion, I second.
Thanks.
I know you're doing four things at once, are you?
I need that, right.
This is the one we just got rid of.
Say anything else I'm gonna do to it?
Well, there is, and I sent everybody, I won't go over the innkeeper's, tax, how much we brought in. And, actually, we brought in, in September, $16,883.12. And I sent everyone the balance, of all accounts. And in your email, and it's, it looks like we have gained, we brought in more than what we spent. So, from last month,
Excellent.
But anyway, for the ramp transactions, I received that this morning, and I printed that off. And I sent everybody this morning the transactions that Eric, put in. Should we just okay, because it's automatic, so we don't really
I've
need
got
to
that written
act
policy
on
when we
it.
get to
So,
that point, but that, yeah, for this first one, because the policy's not adopted, I would suggest approving those expenses.
okay,
Do we need, so that's what he did on the credit card?
That's what's on the ramp card, yeah.
Do we need an expense report on that?
You will. Yeah, you should submit a claim just like everything else. And then we have it on auto pay. That's the only way they would give us a balance high enough. So it is on auto pay. I've got that written in here. Basically, they'll submit an expense report to attach to that, to a claim to pay that card. And then you all will approve it each month. It's after the fact, but if we don't, we'll incur penalties and interest, so we should be free and clear from state board standards on that.
But he needs to fill out an expense report with his receipts, all of that, and explaining what the expenses are and all of that. He signs it, dates it, then we approve it, and then you pay it. Right.
Yes, it's on auto pay, so
Auto
that's
pay.
the only I'll clarify.
Yeah.
But yes, that is the formal process.
So, Eric, are you understand that?
When I make a purchase, it has me take a picture of the receipt and then put a description under that to
Yes.
say what purchase it is. So I don't know if I could use that or.
That's fine with me. There's digital records in the ramp system. That's the beauty of the system. So it's up to you guys if you want him to actually print those out and submit that with the claim, or just submit the claim with a summary sheet like that. The expense reports would be available on request at any time. Stan has access to all those to review them. We can pull them however you guys want to do that.
Don't you get a receipt when you do it?
That's what you just said, right?
Yeah, and I take a picture of that receipt and then send it to the ramp,
And then keeps a digital record of it.
Or
Yeah,
do you keep a hard copy receipt? That's the question, I think.
I have the receipts as PDFs or whatever on a
No,
computer.
you have the hard copy receipt.
Well, I haven't received, they've been digital purchases. You don't get a hard copy.
He buys them online.
Yeah, like, I mean, the phone, the
These are all
displays,
straightforward,
yeah.
these are all straightforward expenses. I'm assuming the MOD displays was for them.
The fold down
And
bangers.
then your Apple electronics probably for your phone.
Yeah, and then I got a case that was 117 and the screen protector was quite a bit.
as long as we stay
What-
compliant with the state board of accounts, and
What,
So he should submit an expense report on that and sign it.
Because, I mean, I
Every
have,
time on
I
ramp.
have five.
I
state
agree.
representation record, another
Yeah, the question is, what level of comfort do you guys have? Is the claim alone sufficient? Or do you want him to then print out those hard copies of receipts as well?
Well, I don't think we need to go through any extra work with his files.
This is fine.
Yeah.
Because this tells you, basically, it's the merchant name that he bought it from, it's what the category is in. It's the date the transaction took place, the amount, and who the user is. This tells you everything you need to know. And so the only question I have here is there's two charges, $512.50 each for Discover Bodie.
Yeah, that is the Louisville boat RV and travel
There you go.
show, yeah.
So if we get,
Yeah, it's booked.
if we get audited on that, which I've got audited on expense reports before, and they go through with a fine tooth comb, what we have with ramp and everything that's coming in, will that suffice for everything that we need? Okay,
All the receipts that they would
So
ever
we
need
can
are
go
attached
through
to
this
it.
every month.
we just go through that every month, so that's.
yeah.
So we just need to make
it
a
as a whole.
motion on that.
Yeah, make a motion to approve the rent charges.
We need a motion.
I'll second.
Who's first?
Barry,
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
can I ask if that's 3167.97?
What'd you say?
What's that?
3167.97 was the total.
3167.97 was that? Very sad.
Here's,
Looks like it.
yeah,
I'd have to add
well,
on.
here's the statement that access.
3167.97.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
And, this right here is the Excel spreadsheet that I downloaded. It tells more detailed description of what it is. The statement doesn't have the description as this Excel spreadsheet, so I.
Yeah, I think you just get those two things each month, Stan, just download those two things each month and use that as your claim, and then the board can approve it. Eric can answer any questions, and then we can always pull up the expense reports.
So we just go through that, like we do the checks and approve each one as we go. Perfect.
And I sent that all to you, these two, to you, and, mainly for our secretary to throw it in the file. That's all I had.
I just got a question on something here that you sent the Perry County CVP Commission profit loss. There's a bond insurance on here for $225 for repaying that bond. Is that from previous?
We did it, well, that was that on, Wes's? Because that would have been that.
That's on the P and L from January through August.
Yeah, which we paid, but we quit paying that.
Okay.
We pay earlier in the year.
Yeah,
Oh, and that's where the discount came from.
yeah,
Okay.
It was due and we did not pay. I think Stan talked to insurance. On the ramp, I do need this signed. So we need to approve it and sign it, right?
The credit card policy. Yeah, so the city, the county has a credit card policy. It's in the employee handbook. We don't have employees. So I kind of put that in the email the other day. This policy would be in addition to, just to further strengthen our controls. Because I don't think the counties, if it's in the employee handbook, it wouldn't cover us because we don't have any employees. So I think this is us adopting our own policy to deal with ramp, the procedures, to protect Eric. I've got it here, most of these are pretty straightforward. The cardholders, the $500 pre-approval, that's really a risk tolerance for you all. If you want to increase that to 1,000, you can put it 5,000. It doesn't matter to me. But basically what this is saying, high level, is you as a board are responsible for the issuance or who is approving the issue of new cards, what their limits are. It talks about what we just talked about with the expense report submissions being available upon request, and any pre-approval for things outside of budget or over a certain threshold. That's the cliff notes of what all that.
I read through it and I thought this was fine. The only question I have on this is the $500. I mean, we went over that this time, so $500.
Well, that's per transaction.
Oh, per
So if he goes
transaction.
and buys a $1,000 phone, he would have to get that pre-approved by the board prior to purchasing that.
Which is
If he
fine.
goes and swipes $100 for Verizon to pay that phone bill for the month, he doesn't have to get pre-approval for that. If it's on auto pay. That's more just to protect him and a risk tolerance for you all. That's.
So do we need a motion to approve the policy?
Yes.
The limit. $4,000 for you and $1,000 for standing current limits. And then the $500, the pre-approval limit for anything over and above that threshold. Again, I just put a number in there. You guys pick what number you want there.
It just says in here, cardholder agrees to obtain prior approval from CRVP, but when purchases are outside the approved budget or when purchases are to exceed $500. Should that be purchased per transaction or per transaction purchase?
I can have it per transaction if you want. It doesn't say per statement. The statement would be what you're looking at with the $3,000. The purchase would be each of those individual transactions. Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
I make a motion to approve the credit card policy.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
We're good.
So whatever you need to get signed, and then
And it just should be the two credit card holders sign it. Does the president need to
the
sign it?
credit card holders will need to sign it to say that they have approved, that they reviewed it and agreed to it. And then the board, I think when we sign the minutes, will be sufficient to adopt the policy officially. Chris, do you know that? I don't know that answer offhand.
I'll just have everybody sign
We
it.
That's fine too. Yeah, you sign, then you'll have it, and then just give me a copy of it. I'll put it in your permanent records.
You done?
Yes.
All right.
Hey, any other financial matters that we want to discuss before this? Okay, we're good. Thank you.
You guys need to stick around for any?
I don't think so. Okay. All right, thanks, Wes.
Thank you.
So you just let me have a copy of them, you're done, I'll give you a card right
I'll
away.
drop it off.
All right.
Thanks.
everybody.
Here. And then I'll move it to get it down there. So that's it.
We'll go ahead and move forward with the marketing committee updates, Barry.
All right. Everybody's ready here. Hey, you're up. You're right. Let me sign, and I'll get my part done. All right, marketing report. As stated in last month's meeting, we've got about 4 or 5 priorities that we're focusing on from a marketing standpoint, and we'll address those here in this marketing report. The first one is displays. As reported last month, we decided to go with banners, pull down banners, which actually used some of those yesterday. They really, really look good. They're printed and they're ready to go. Banners really look great. Very lightweight. They break down into carrying cases for easy transportation. I just brought, 5 of them in town in my truck. They fit in the back seat. The setup of all 3 can be done in 5 minutes or less. They are ready for our booth in Louisville for the Boat RV and Sports Show. That'll occur on January 28th through February 1st. Also working on acquiring booth space for the Indy Boat Sport and Travel Show, and that's February 20th to the 2nd and February 25th through March the 1st. And we'll report out whenever we get confirmation on those booths. Indy is February 20th to the 22nd and February 25th to March 1.
Barry, did you say when the Louisville Boat Show was?
I did. It is January 28th through February 1st.
When we get a little closer to those, I'll just comment real quick. The Louisville Boat Show starts like Thursday night. You set up Thursday and then it ends on Sunday. So I'm assuming that's going to be the same next year, but we most likely need some help on that. Eric will need some help on that. But, just keep that in mind. And then the Indianapolis one's like 2 different weeks, so it's pretty extensive as well. But I think they're well worth it.
The second priority, and this is not in any particular order, is our brochure. Obviously, it's something that's taken a lot of time, a lot of effort. Probably the majority of Eric's time has been spent working on the brochure. The second draft of the brochure is completed. It has been edited. A few pictures, details remain, but it's well on its way to being completed and ready for print by November 1st. Eric and I had a couple of conversations regarding, paper type, paper weight, what's best, should we settle for this or should we spend some extra money and do that? We'll make those decisions if they haven't already been made. And the brochure is going to be nice. It's going to be really nice. There's a possibility it may, until we get all of our samples and everything together to really determine the type of paper we want, that may extend that date by a week or so, but we're on track. We've got quotes from 5 printing companies, and I think Eric's got some more details on that we'll talk about here in a bit. Another really important priority for our organization is our new website. Steve and Eric met with brochure website designer Mary Baldwin on October 7th. They discussed website parameters, editing, update capabilities. We need to be able to add cabins new cabins are built, we want to be able to add them to our website. So we need to be able to make changes like that on the fly whenever they occur. Calendar events, obviously those things are constantly changing. You know, things like changing pictures to match certain events, website layout, design ideas, all this stuff needs to have some flexibility in it. We need to be able to do that we are simply not able to do today. Map utilization, aesthetics, much more goes into this. And right now, the projected website launch will be late 2025 or early 2026. I think, you know, to just give some comfort to the process and to give the board a tangible time frame to think of, I think we should shoot for first quarter of 2026. To have a good, viable, interactive, changeable website that's going to pull people into our website.
That'd be awesome.
Very excited about that. That's going to be a major change for us. I think it's going to really make us much more efficient in what we're trying to do. And then finally, I want to talk a little bit about digital marketing. Obviously, digital marketing for 2026 was approved in our budget. Eric has met with a local digital marketing firm about launching a campaign to attract potential visitors to Perry County. As the brochure is finished and the website is launched, we need to get kind of our feet under us there. The tentative schedule would be to attract visitors with the unveiling of these key assets early in 2026. And then once the brochure is done, the website is up and maybe not up and running, but at least designed and ready to go. Then we can start gathering assets for whichever digital marketing company we decide to go with. They can utilize those assets to start targeting audiences for us. I'll summarize, or I'll sum up this way. I'm very pleased with where we are from the marketing standpoint. We really made some headway in terms of the brochure, in terms of the website. I think we all can understand this is a big move, going from red stitch, where we really it didn't feel like we had any control over that at all, and to now a new, hopefully much fresher look, much more modern look, much more interactive. It's all under our control. I think that's just a major stride forward for us. And you know, and then once we get into the year, we'll be able to really start zeroing in on digital marketing. So very pleased. I think Eric's doing a great job juggling all these projects. I think it really helped him for us to be able to prioritize because man, oh man, we had things coming and going in every direction. We were able to make this much more concise. We're focusing on 4 or 5 items at a time. My congratulations to Eric on that.
I agree.
Any comments or questions from a marketing perspective? If not, I'll hand it over to Eric for his direction.
Eric, why don't you give us a little bit of a timeline on the brochure, everything that's where you're at, where you come from, and where you're at.
So I got those edits made and sent to Mary last night, Steve, because we got them over the weekend. I went through with a red pen and just the text and everything. So it's right there. I was just telling Cindy that things keep on popping out, like, hey, St. Joseph's Shrine outside of St. Minard, you know, that's technically in Perry County. You know, it's through the Abbey down there, and just things like that, and just making improvements, swapping out this picture for something a little bit more dynamic and stuff. But we're right there, you know. I need to get that Parks and Recreation page kind of finalized. I wouldn't mind adding a little bit more like Eagles Bluff, acreage and trails and this and that, but it's just right there. So I would like to get like a finished draft in your hand the week of October 21st. That gives me all next week to submit some more stuff. I'm continuing to take pictures. I went to Rome last weekend at their Fall Fest and got some more river shots, got some more Eagle Bluffs. So it's right there. I'm shooting for perfect and then a little bit better than that, so,
I'm gonna be a little bit shameless here. I'm gonna promote Derby a little bit, but, do you have some things in there about Walzer Park?
yeah, Moser Park's in there.
And we just erected a new sign down there that has it's a four-sided structure that gives the history of Derby.
Okay.
Have you seen that, or have you?
I was just down there Sunday, so, yeah.
You drive right into it.
Okay.
We affectionately call it the Pelican sign because it's got a pink flamingo on top of it. And, it's a really well done history of Derby. It's very aesthetic. It looks really nice. And I see people stopping there all the time to read it. So it would be, it should have at least a picture or something. That is, you can get it in.
And then, along with that, I guess I've contacted, Visit Indiana to get the brochure. There's certain things like, I think we get it approved. They're the ones that, if we want to put it in rest stops, have to approve it for the content and everything. And I'm in contact with them. They said, yeah, just send us a copy when it's done. So just trying to get all that stuff fine tuned. So when we go to press, we're good to go. We're good to distribute it and everything. But yeah, moving right along.
The printing in your thinking, when do you think you'd be ready to print? Technically, or something?
November is the goal.
Well, our next meeting, the reason I'm saying that, our next meeting is November 13th. We most probably need to prove that prior to that.
Yeah. What I had talked to Barry about the other day was that I didn't have, we went through and reassessed, and an 80 weight paper gloss is what we'd like in the brochure. It was the last brochure. It looks the best. It's 80 weights. I don't want to say it's cheaper than 100 weight, and it probably is better too because it's not so thick and everything as far as packing. And so I had all of the printers re-quote us for the 80 weight paper, and I have all those quotes now. So I don't know if we want to review.
So what's the proofing process going to be on the final draft?
That's where I'm coming in. I'm thinking maybe we leave that because we don't want to wait till our next meeting to approve all of that stuff. So I'm thinking maybe the marketing committee, I'm in favor of letting the marketing committee, and maybe all the board members can look at it, but let the marketing committee do the final approval. And then
Proof. For the final approval?
final proof and approval.
Yeah.
I think both, otherwise we're gonna be delayed until December 1st or later than that, so.
Yeah, because like with that, just, there's a lot there, because we just got our map. That was our graphic designer said, let me know when you got your map ready, and I went on a long goose chase to find a map, and there's plenty of PDF maps, but you can't modify, you can't really, you have to have an InDesign document or whatever, the Photoshop documents it. So she recreated created a map, and then we have certain things on it, and we forgot this town. So we're still going over that stuff.
Sure.
And we're right there. But we just received that last Tuesday.
Well, why don't we do this? Why don't we, let's see, we're October the 9th today, right?
Yeah.
What if we thought about having, or maybe even schedule a marketing committee meeting the week before our board meeting? We'd have to do it before then.
Well, we could also hold a special meeting just for that if we wanted to. We wanted all the board members.
There's a lot of stuff, not to sound flighty, but with the new county logo and stuff being in the brochure, that should, there's things like that have come up and just.
That may delay some things.
Yes.
Well, and all that would entail would be inserting the new logo.
Yeah, which
right?
is only in 2 spots.
So
that would take minutes. So
why don't our plan, we don't have to schedule a date right now, but why don't our plan be for the marketing committee to gather or meet prior to the next board meeting? Let's take care of any outlying issues that may still be out there. If proofing needs to be done, we'll proof it. That's going to be the key step, is the proofing. Make sure all everything's spelled right, make sure we didn't leave anything out, make sure all the pictures are right, all that kind of stuff. And, if we want to do a special meeting prior to the next board meeting for the sole purpose of approving the brochure, I think that would be appropriate.
That's a very important piece of I wouldn't mind that.
And like I said, November 1st was an arbitrary date we put out there to give us, a working timeline that it's not going to be the end of the world if it's November 15th, is it? Just to make sure it's right. So why don't you shoot to have a final draft done by, again, 1st of November. We'll meet as a marketing committee prior to the board meeting. Yeah, this looks great. And then how much time do we need to schedule a special session? So we need 2 days prior notice to schedule a special meeting.
One right there, Chris, or is it 24? 40.
You use an emergency, but I don't.
I'm just gonna pull up my calendar.
I think that'd be a great idea. Eric, when you are ready to present it to the marketing committee, get with Barry, you guys meet. I'd like to also, when you have that preliminary, maybe send copies to all of the board members at the same time, so we can continue to review it as well. We can relay our comments to the board, the committee, and then once you guys finalize it, then we'll call a special. If it's prior to the next meeting, we can call a special meeting, approve it.
Would you be opposed to the 6th?
I am. I was just looking at my calendar. I'm not available.
I was just gonna be on Thursday before, because we could just have a regular meeting the
Well, I
next
can
week.
do the 5th.
I can do the 5th too. So we just do our marketing meeting the 5th, and then the following week is our actual board meeting. And then that'll give Eric the time, if you have any typo changes, and he could get it changed, and or we can schedule stuff, so it doesn't matter.
Well, you might have it done before the 1st of November, though. When you think, Eric?
Yeah,
I would think let him call.
You call it.
Let
That's
him
right.
call it.
That's right.
Okay.
You call it. I will tell you that I'm going to be out of town from October 31st until I got my dates wrong. From October 30th until November 3rd. That's a week. This is a weekend. It's a long weekend. I'm going to be out of town.
So if you have it done before the 30th, then, or you think you got a date, then you get with Barry and you guys set up that meeting and then give us a copy of it. And then once you guys approve it, then we'll call a special session.
Yeah, I mean, if you can have it ready to proof by the week of October 20th.
I think it's, yeah, it's good to go.
Yeah, he's good.
So we'll leave it to you, Eric, to get the ducks in a row, reach out whenever you think you're ready for the marketing committee to meet. And let's determine a date at that time.
Okay, and it might be before November, because
Perfect.
the idea, I wanted to have a copy ready for you guys, and then I had the designer send everything and then set it on the page with the graphics and everything in a Word document that I printed out and edited it with pen and paper.
Yep.
And then I updated all those changes last night, so she's probably not made them on the page yet, so I'm just trying to get I don't wanna say, here's a rough first draft copy, oh, there's this there and that, I wanna get it.
Yep.
Right in line and then send you guys.
Perfect.
Guys, do we wanna wait on that new county logo? Do we wanna use the county logo or keep what we've got that works for us? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm looking at Eric's shirt he just bought like 2 weeks ago maybe. But I mean, and that's okay if we change it, but I'm like, do we want to? I mean, I don't know.
I think that meeting's today.
Mhm.
I think we can.
Yeah, I don't think we have enough information to really determine that yet.
Okay. Yeah.
I think, yeah, we can decide that in the marketing meeting and our final meeting.
Yeah. I mean, it's no problem to change out that logo quickly, I know.
But that would be the county logo, it's not necessarily our visitor bureau.
Right, and maybe we want a different logo altogether for Visit Perry County, because to say Perry County Convention, Recreation, and Visitors Commission is a lot. Like, I don't know what you want a catchy phrase, a Visit Perry County, that's generic, I know, but we've always.
Well, I always knew that the issue was going to come up where PCDC owns Big Berry, I mean.
But if they told us we can't use that, that's the thing, they never told us, and maybe they wanna work with us
No,
on
I
this.
understand that, but it's not. And really, what happens with PCDC goes on, you know, I mean, you see, I mean, I'm not saying that's gonna happen.
No, but there's some little things of questions, sure.
Yeah, so I just, that move has to be the right one. And make sure we do it right.
Yeah, it's worth discussing.
I feel like
Yeah, it is.
we should go with the new economic development. Commissioners have, so on this.
Yeah, very quick. But, Eric, you also have some quotes right now, right? Why don't we do this with those quotes? You got what, 5, 6, 7?
5, yeah.
Why doesn't the marketing committee look at that at the same time, and then when we come to special session, you guys can come up with recommendations from that as well, we can go through it. And then when we meet in a special session, we'll review it. I think that would be more appropriate.
Go through 5, yeah.
Approve it right now. Does everybody agree with that?
I'm fine with that.
And then you fine with that? All righty, if you wanna just go highlight some of that little stuff real quick, you got the phone on that.
Yeah, I was gonna go back to the banners, or not the banners, but the shows rather. So that the indie show is boat, sport, and travel show from February 20th to the 22nd it's like 2 separate shows, really, and that's $800. And then the February 25th to March 1st is $900. And then included with that, they're tagging on like a deer, turkey, and waterfowl expo. That's like a bigger show essentially.
That's the one we would.
Yeah.
So I didn't know if we wanted to go to both, that's $900. So if we wanted to schedule both or just one, I talked to the one guys that, reserving booths, they still have plenty of booths, I talked to him just yesterday. And he said, well, a lot of times the first one you get a lot of people in, but then the second one they tack on that, basically a hunting expo too. Which if we had to pick one, I would want that, and that's a longer period of time. And the February is a Friday through Sunday, so, but I didn't know if we wanted to do both.
I think we do both. If we're trying to promote Perry County.
No, it's $800 for the first one. It's
Roll the 1700.
They don't give you a special for booking both.
I don't think, he didn't say, I could ask, but
I don't know, sometimes that happens.
yeah,
What's our deadline?
I did not ask, just the booths were available as of yesterday.
Coming up, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Why not, you have to, I mean, you're gonna man them for sure, and you're gonna need some help.
Yeah.
So you just wanna make sure that you're available for those.
I'm available, because it does say, you have to man the booth at all times, that's part of the contract, is they don't want an empty booth there. People are paying to go to the show, so it's somewhere you can find friends. But yeah, I'm fine with both of them.
These 2 nights. That's the January still show.
Well,
let's February when they're
make a motion on here, we'll.
ending. Different days on it.
I'll make a motion to allow Eric to book the indie shows, both of those.
I second.
All in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
And we've got that within our budget for hotel and all that, right?
Well, it's 2025, so we don't.
No, it's the 26th budget.
Oh,
Yeah.
so yeah.
Okay. There's not a lot of hotel stay, it's.
Yeah, what am I thinking? God.
They're gonna be, that's something you might wanna look at too, is booking hotels early.
Yeah.
Because if I go, I can say what I have. Information of where you can see this.
I have a relationship with her too, I don't know if they stay with her, but. No, and
Maybe not that long.
Yeah, yeah, just.
Okay, so, yeah, that sounds good. Go ahead and get those booked, and then, you got a new phone and phone number and all of that.
Yeah, we're getting to that. Hold on just a second. So I just wanted to bring up the drone, and there's been some technical issues with the drone. I'll figure it out, but DJI is kind of the big dog as far as drones, and this has just happened in the past month or so. DJI drones face potential bans. bans from the use by the government entities due to national security issues, transmitting sensitive data, yada, yada, this and that. So I might have to find another brand, and I'm just kind of there. There's just not as many other brands of drones.
You haven't bought one.
No, and because they haven't been available, they've been back ordered and stuff, and it's things with the tariff and this and that. So I haven't been able to buy one. So I have to look into that more as far as what we wanted. I was just kind of holding out, like, I put like a hold order or, let me know when it's available right after it was approved at the last meeting, and then this has come up, so it's just kind of a pickle. We'll hopefully get a drone. If not, I have a friend with a drone and a brother-in-law with a drone. I hopefully get those shots for the website. And, I'll get it done, but just that little, I can't actually order the drone I want.
Eric, the county owns a drone. I don't know much about it, but I don't know who even has access to it, how much it's used, or the real reasons all behind it, everything, but I don't know if that's something.
I thought about like, hey, you guys, if I get some family of hikers out, you guys want to, do some drone training, and get some shots. And
That would be a good idea to approach him. I would think the sheriffs would the ones have that, so.
Yeah.
They normally say no, but.
Yeah, there's other options for the drone shots, but I just wanted to, just a little hiccup, Wouldn't want things to go too smooth. So.
Well, you've been working with Shiraz, he might be able to help you too.
You're approved, we've approved already for this one, so if you just use your best judgment and move forward, that's the best.
Yep.
Yeah. And then, yes, I did get the new phone and taking some pictures with it. I think it's gonna be a nice tool to have. There might even be some pictures taken with this phone in the new brochure. So I will get a text sent out with a new number to you guys fairly soon. It was a little bit of a process getting. We have a Verizon government account, so it's like this phone belongs to the CBB. It was a little bit trickier that you can't go into a Verizon store and get an account, so you have a government account with this phone.
And it's a CBB phone. Right?
Yeah, it's a CBB phone, so this phone will be attached to not attached to me.
Okay. Good. Anything else?
No, I think that's about it.
I just need clarification.
Okay.
On the boat show, did we book one at Louisville and one at Indy, or both at Indy?
No, we got the Louisville Boat Show, and then we also have the Boat Show.
So did we just okay the Indy for those
Correct,
two?
yes, those two.
So do we need to okay for him to book the Louisville?
No, so I thought
We did.
we kind of had done,
Oh,
I don't want to say kind of, sorry for being unprofessional, but, and I hesitated on Indy because it was two separate dates, and I wanted to make sure we were on the same page to do those separate dates, because it's essentially like two shows.
Do we need a motion? The Louisville Boat Show, I thought we approved that already.
Well, we did it.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, I thought we did too.
okay,
I think so.
I missed that.
And I guess, I thought with Louisville, I have the dates, and a lot of them start like during the week, they're later in the day, and I figured I would just commute from my home in North Berry County. But then with the Indy, I will have to probably book hotels.
Yeah, for sure. I do have something that I've been meaning to talk to both Eric and Cindy about, and it keeps getting pushed down the road, but I from time to time receive notices from Red Stitch where people are requesting material from the website. And Eric is not getting those emails, but I think Cindy, you are.
Yes.
And I think this goes back from the time they had me listed as the executive director, which is why I'm there. Well, we need to make sure that we're doing something with those. They're asking,
If I do not contact them myself,
right,
I forward it to
so
them.
they are getting contact.
Yes.
And I did respond to that one. They were asking about the Rome area, or the Fall Fest, and I sent them the information.
Just another example of how messy that situation was with the previous website. Very good. Thank you, Eric.
Anything else, Eric?
No, that's good. Thank you, guys.
Anything else somebody wants to bring up? If not, I'm looking for a motion to adjourn.
Yes, yeah.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
You people are great, man. We're,
Maybe working on it.